Hello and welcome to Term 2 Prepping for Success Moodle 101 workshop. The Prepping for Success series is aimed at getting key points of information out to students at key points in the academic calendar. I would also like to acknowledge the Bedigal people, who are the traditional custodians of the land here at Kensington campus, and pay my respects to elders past, present and future. So without further ado, I will pass over to Anoop for Moodle 101 today, and I hope you all enjoy.
Thanks, Paul. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Moodle 101 session. My name is Anoop, and we are from the Education Technology Support Team. Paul, if you could go to the next slide, please. Sure. And today's session will be run by myself and my colleagues Adrian and Jackie. So in Moodle 101, we will cover the topics covering access to Moodle, so how you access the Moodle and the site links. Then we'll go on and talk about the Moodle dashboard and how you can customize it. And then we'll go on and talk about the course main page and different functionalities that you can have within the course main page. And following on, we'll have some time for Q&A to answer your questions or issues. So with that information, let me just start by sharing my screen. And if you have access to Moodle, feel free to log into Moodle or follow on, and we can walk you through side by side. And if you don't have access, feel free to just have a look at the session, and later on, once you have access, you can follow those steps. So what is Moodle? Moodle is UNSW's primary LMS or learning management system. And during your time here at UNSW, for most courses, you will have individual course-specific pages or course-specific section in Moodle, where course content, assessment tasks, grades, and other relevant resources such as files and links can be found. So to access Moodle, you can open up your browser, and the recommended browsers are the latest versions of Chrome or Safari. And the link to Moodle is Moodle, modle.telt.unsw.edu.au. So this is the main Moodle landing page. And please note, if you are using your mobile devices or if you find any Moodle mobile applications, they are third-party applications and not supported by UNSW. So in your device, you should always be using your browser to access Moodle. So like I said, this is the link to join Moodle. And to log in, you need to click on the login option on the top right-hand side. OK, for login, if you don't have access, please note if you're new to UNSW, it takes 24 to 48 hours from your first enrollment into a course for your Moodle access to be activated. So if you are new to UNSW and recently enrolled, it might take some time for your Moodle access to come through. So we'll just ask you to please be patient, and within 24 to 48 hours, your access should come through. If you have accessed or enrolled into course and it's been more than 24 to 48 hours, please feel to follow along, and you would be able to log into Moodle as well. So once you are into your Moodle login page, you need to agree and sign on to Moodle. So you are agreeing to basically the terms and conditions in here and approving to sign on. So once you agree, you need to sign in with your ZID. That's Z and 7-digit number at 80.unsw.edu.au. And once you've put in your sign-in ID, you can hit next. If you don't remember your password, or if you've forgotten your password, you can go to UNSW Identity Manager to reset your password, or you can contact UNSW IT and the below number to call and reset your password. So once you put in your ID, just hit next and enter your password. So again, if you don't remember your password or if you've forgotten, just click on UNSW Identity Manager to get access to reset your password. Once you've entered your password, please click Sign In. And with this, you will enter into your Moodle course page. And please note this login is same as your other logins to Moodle, My UNSW or email as well. So if with this login, you can also access the Office 365 tool. So basically, to access Office 365, it's the link is login.microsoftonline.com. And this will automatically give you access to all the Office suites that's available for the students at UNSW. And you can also access your email from this section. So that with that, you have logged into your Moodle course and you can now see your dashboard. Now I'll pass it on to my colleague Adrian to start explaining what dashboard is and how to customize and look at other features in dashboard. Over to you, Adrian.
Thanks, Anoop. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And if you could please let me know, share screen 1.
Yes, we can.
Excellent. So yeah, perfect. So my name's Adrian, and I'll be going through just an overview of the Moodle dashboard. So Anoop has just gone through the standard login process on how to access Moodle. So when we've accessed Moodle, this is the landing page that you should see. We can see that this is referred to as the Moodle dashboard. Perfect. The Moodle dashboard is probably one of the most useful pages, and it will show the courses that is currently available to you for you to access. Courses will not appear here until they are released to you by your lecturer. So it is quite common that you may not see all of the courses you are enrolled in until very close to the start of week 1, and in some cases, not even until your first class, for example. So even though you have successfully enrolled, and if you go to My UNSW, you do see your enrollment status, an instructor may have hidden the course for an extended period, and that may be why you're not seeing it in your dashboard. So by default, you should see your courses as blocks, as you can see here, and there'll be the name of the course, and just right above it will be the faculty where the course is situated in. You may also notice that there's a completion bar. So these can be mostly ignored. It isn't an evaluated metric to assess your course completion. Most courses may actually just say 0%. Always refer to your course outline for any key course and assessment task information, should you need to refer back to that. Perfect. So moving on, there is some filters that we can play with and customize our dashboard. So let's start with the top left here. So if we were to select this, currently it's just filtered to show all courses, but as we can see, we can choose to filter by in progress, future, or past. It is recommended though to keep it at this default, as it will show you all the courses. As if you were to, for example, filter by past, you may miss out on any upcoming courses or current courses as well. So again, if in need, you can filter, but it is recommended to keep it at the default setting, as it will show all your courses, regardless of status. Perfect. On the top right, we have some other options. So we can choose to sort by the course name or by when we've last accessed the course. And also, if we don't like the card option, we can also choose to show the courses in a list format, as shown, also, or in this summary format as well. In this case, I'll keep it as card. Perfect. So that was just a brief run through of the filters that are available. There is also additional customizations that you can do to your Moodle dashboard, and which will only affect your personal dashboard. So the dashboard, what you're seeing here, it comprises itself of individual components called blocks. And these blocks essentially can be moved around and edited to your preference. So what you're looking at here, the center part of the screen, is the most prominent area for blocks. However, you can also hide blocks, I'll drag them to the left-hand column as well. So to start off, let's click Customize this page on the top right. And our dashboard now is in edit mode, essentially. And for example, we have our calendar block on the top left, but I can easily drag this using the drag option here and move it to the center of the page if we wanted to. Vice versa, we could also drag the blocks away from the center to the left-hand side. So if I didn't want the calendar block to be shown here on the center screen, I can just drag this back and move it anywhere on the left-hand side. In this case, I'll just put it back to where it was on the top left. We can also add other blocks to our dashboards. And one of the blocks that I'll show or demonstrate is the starred courses block. So to add a block, we can scroll down. And right at the bottom, we'll see the add a block setting. We can click on the drop down and we can scroll down and there's the starred courses block here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and click on that. Perfect. So let's scroll down and locate the block and we can see the starred courses block appear here on the left-hand side. So for this demo, I'm just going to drag this to the center of the screen. Let me just paste it in here. Perfect. So what the starred courses block essentially allows us to do is it will display courses that we've starred. And courses that are starred is just a method of sort of favoriting a course or liking a course. So for this demo, let me go ahead and just unstar a course. Perfect. We can see another course has been starred. But essentially in your course overview block here, which by default should appear in the dashboard, if you over time, as you enroll in more courses and as you progress throughout your academic career here, you will have more and more courses after each term. So you may want to star the courses that you visit most frequently or star courses that are currently participating in the term. So for example, if I wanted to star the renewable energy course, I can click on the 3 dots here and click star this course. You'll notice that it now appears in this starred courses block. Similarly, if I wanted to star the math course, I can click on the 3 dots and star it. Perfect. And now the courses will appear here in the starred courses block. Vice versa, if I'm no longer wanting to favorite, say, the math course, I can select the 3 dots here and remembering always to do this in the course overview block. We can just unstar it and it will disappear from the starred courses block. So the dashboard is really a personal preference. You may not choose to use the starred courses block. You may want the calendar, for example, to be in the center. You may not want the calendar at all. And if that's the case, for example, you can click on the cog icon. You can either hide it or delete it from your dashboard. So we can choose to hide it, for example. Similarly, if I'm not interested in current upcoming events, I can choose to hide the block as well. And all these changes will only be affecting your own personal dashboard. So it really is your preference into how you want to manage and organize it. In this case, for example, if I wanted to just drag out the course overview on the left, remembering I can do so, and I can just keep my start courses here in the center screen. In this case, I'll just bring it back. Perfect. So that was a brief overview into the dashboard and how you can customize it to your liking as well. Let me just stop customizing the page. I'll now hand over to my colleague Jackie, where he will go through navigating Moodle courses. So over to you, Jackie.
Perfect. Thanks, Adrian. Let me just share my screen. Can you tell me once you can see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Perfect. So hi everyone. I'll go over some of the basics on how your courses will look in Moodle and just how to find them. So I'm in the dashboard over here. So let me just refresh the screen. So just a moment. Perfect. So as you can see here, we're in the dashboard, and this is the dashboard that we just customized. And to enter into any of our courses in Moodle, all we really need to do is just find the course that we're looking for. So maybe we'll need to use some of the filters that we went through earlier, but all we need to do is find the course that we want to enter and just click on it. So anywhere in here, and we'll enter the course. So let me just click on our Introduction to Renewable Energy course over here. So as you can see here, once we've clicked onto it, we'll enter directly into the course main page. Now, before I get into this course, let's just go back to our dashboard. And I do want to go over one question that's really commonly asked, and that's, let's say you're in the dashboard right now and you've enrolled in 3 courses, but maybe you only see 2 of your courses here, or maybe you don't see any courses here at all. So this is a common thing that occurs in Moodle, and really there's several things related to this. So firstly, don't panic. Courses are only usually made available very close to the start of term. So your lecturers sometimes may only release the courses maybe near the start of week 1, for example. In addition to that, if you have only recently chosen to enroll into a course, or you've only recently been added into Moodle, it will take about 24 to 48 hours, so maybe 2 days or so, before your enrollment actually comes through into Moodle over here. So let's say I've enrolled into a course, or maybe I've unenrolled out of a course just this morning, then we won't actually see any changes to our Moodle courses until maybe tomorrow night. In addition to that, if you don't actually find a course appearing in your dashboard at the start of term, then what you need to do is contact your instructor or faculty, and they can have a look and see why your course isn't appearing. So perfect. Let's enter into our course, Introduction to Renewable Energy now. There we go. So now we're in our course main page. This is the main page we'll go through to access any of the content within this course. So usually in any courses you're enrolled in, the main pages will look like this with a left-hand side column here for what we call the blocks column. And what this column is for is really for some additional information and mainly for navigation options as well. If we scroll down the page, we'll see that there's a whole list of different things in this block. And if we don't want to see this block, we can actually also click on this little icon over here, which allows us to just hide this block and show it just any time we want. So in this left-hand side blocks column, some useful things that you will find in your courses is this navigation section over here. And as its name applies, it's used to help you navigate between your courses and to some key pages in your course as well. So for example, one of the pages that are most often used is here, the grades button. And if we click on it, all we get is basically our report for our grades in this course. So this grades page will usually just show us the grades for assignments that we've completed in our course that are released to us. One thing to note with regards to this grade page is that you may see a course total grade here, but official course total grades will be released to you in an email as well. So you may not see this in most of your courses. So let's go back to our course main page. And to do this, if we're in any page in our course and we want to go back to the dashboard page or the course main page, all we need to do is go to this top left area in our course, our page, and just go find our course name. So in this case, we're in Intro to Renewable Energy. So we just need to click on the name of our course here. And we'll be taken back to the course main page, like so. In this course main page, we will also see the main content area over here on the right. And this area is really where the majority of your course content will be found. So for example, if I open up any of these sections in our course, so usually in your courses, you will see the content divided into sections like so. And if we just open some of our sections like general discussion and assessments, we can see the different links to our course content over here as well. If I just open Wind Power, for example, We can see some information with some additional links to other files and folders available to us as well. So some of the common content types that you will see in your course is, let's just begin at the top. This announcements forum over here. So usually at the top of any course you have in Moodle, you usually see an announcements forum. And what it is if we click on it, it's just a forum that our instructors can post to make any major announcements to us. As you can see here, we have in our forum some welcome messages and also some messages on when assignments are released. In addition to this, when your instructor does post to you in an announcements forum like so, you will also receive an email with this announcement arriving into your UNSW mailbox as well. So there's really two ways to get these announcements. So let's go back into our course main page. And what we did was just clicked on our course name on the top left here. And let's go through some of the other contents we'll see in courses. So other common things we'll see in our courses, if we go down a bit here, are the folders, files and folders. So oftentimes, if we have lecture material or content, we will see some files like so in our course. And as you expect, all we need to do is click on the name of the file, and it'll open up a little PDF reader in our browser for us to read it. Or if it's a PowerPoint file, for example, it will just download it straight into our computer. In addition to things like files and PowerPoints that you'll see in the course main page, we will also see other things like forums, assessment activities like so. So let's just begin with forum. If we click on a forum, for example, we'll just be taken to a forum page where we can make posts and respond to posts by other students. So for example, we can click this and just make a discussion. We may be presented in our courses with assessment activities, and there's a whole range of assessment activities available in Moodle. So for example, you will see things such as the assignment, to turn it in with similarity checking, or something like the quiz. And for the majority of these assessment tasks, all we need to do is just click on them. And in the resulting page, we will be prompted with a button to submit an assignment or complete a quiz once it is available to us. Finally, the last type of common thing you'll find in courses, for example, lecture recordings and online tutorials. So the common ones in Moodle are Collaborate Ultra and Lecture Recordings Plus. And the way we use these is similar to the other things. All we need to do is click on a link. And what this does is it just opens up a page for us to engage in any online tutorials or view our lecture recordings, like so. So those are some of the common things that you will find in your courses. Of course, you usually won't find all of them in a course, but we will see one or two of these throughout our courses. One additional thing I do want to mention is once we're done, for example, with this course page and we've viewed our content for this week, we can use the dashboard button on the top right. So we can click on our name on the top right over here, and we can use this dashboard button here to quickly navigate back into our dashboard if, for example, we want to enter into a different course. So now that we're back in our dashboard, we can, for example, enter into our languages course. In addition to the dashboard page, this little profile menu here does include some other very important functions for us. So most notably, it does give us a grades button like so. And this is very similar to the grades you would see in your course. However, this gives you grades across every course that you're enrolled in. And you can just quickly click on any of our course names to access that course's page. So if you didn't want to go into each course separately to view your grades, you can use this grades option over here in our top right menu. In addition to that, there are also the preferences options here. And preferences are mainly just our account settings. Most notably out of these preferences are the forum preferences over here. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to enable what is known as an email digest. And an email digest is really just a way to prevent your mailbox from getting filled up with lots of emails from different forums you're enrolled in. So just as some background information, when you are using forums in courses across Moodle, you do tend to get emails whenever those forums are updated. So maybe another student replies to one of your forum posts, you would get an email directly to your UNSW mailbox telling you that. So one thing that we can set up is an email digest for forums. And this allows us to, instead of receiving one separate email from each time someone replies to our posts, we'll receive one complete summary email at the end of each day. So this is one thing we can set up to reduce the amount of emails you get in our inbox. One downside of using the email digest, however, is that it does make it so that we don't immediately get emails when other people reply to our posts, for example, and we'll actually get it near the end of each day around 4 p.m. Perfect. Okay. So that we should be careful about this. If we do set up an email digest, that means that any important announcements instructors make may be missed. So we may need to check those announcements as well on our own. Perfect. So let's go back to our dashboard over here. And those are pretty much the main features that's available to you in Moodle. So within your courses over here, and also within your menu options over here. I do want to go over some additional support information as well. So if you do experience any issues within a course, so maybe some course content isn't loading properly for you, for example, your first point of contact is your lecturer or course instructor, and their contact details are usually made available to you directly within your course, usually at the top, or directly in the course outline available in your course as well. So usually they'll give you some contact information, maybe an email to contact them with. In addition to that, if you can't actually get in contact with your lecturer, you can contact your faculty office. So depending on the faculty you're in, they may have a web page which will provide you with their contact information. Lastly, if you do experience any major technical issues with Moodle, if we scroll down the page, right to the very bottom over here, we do have a support contact information down here for the Moodle support. So we can access any of these contact information if we have any technical issues with Moodle. And once again, it's just down at the very bottom of any of our pages in Moodle. So if I enter into a course page, for example, and scroll down to the very bottom, once it loads, the contact information will be available down at the very bottom here as well. Just any page in Moodle. So perfect. That's pretty much the majority of what we wanted to go through in our Moodle 101. I'll hand it over for the Q&As.
Thank you, Jackie. If you could just stop screen sharing, I'll share onto the questions page, and yeah, just invite the audience to use the little question mark in the speech box to pop through some questions, and we'll be happy to answer those questions. So a quick question that's popped through. One of the students is struggling to log in at the moment. What should they do next as a way of like solving that?
So Paul, if this is regarding login, so login is controlled by UNSW IT. So if you're having issues with your login, let me just share my screen again. There is a contact details available for students to contact UNSW IT, and they can reset your password. And like I said initially, if you are new to UNSW and it's not been more than 24 to 48 hours since you have enrolled into your course, it will take that time for your course access to be available. So until then, you won't be able to log into Moodle. The best way to check if your login is working as well is just trying to log into my.unsw. So my.unsw.edu.au, and this site also uses the same login as Moodle. And if you're able to log in here but not Moodle, it will be because of your enrollment hasn't come through. So just be patient and wait for another 24 hours and for you to be able to access it.
That's great. Thanks so much for that, Anu. While you're actually there in Moodle, one of the students is asking where they can find their courses on their dashboard.
So all your courses will be available in the course overview blog that you can see on my screen. So once you've logged in, all the courses you are enrolled in will be available in this section. In addition, there are other filters that are available. So some you might have removed from the view by clicking here and selecting remove from the view. If that's the case, you need to select remove from the view, and those courses will be available here. And if you have some past courses, then those courses will be available here as well. On top of that, courses are made visible by the instructor. So if they haven't made it visible, you won't see it in your dashboard. So in that case, the best point is to contact your instructor and inquire about the course visibility.
That's great. Thank you for that, Anu. Another question, what does the completion button do?
Completion button. If
So
they're
the completion bar.
You mean the completion bar?
Yeah.
The completion bar does not imply the completion of your course. It just implies the amount of activities you have accessed within your course. This bar is not considered in any way for your grading purposes. It's just for your reference to see if you have accessed all the sections within the course. So if you have accessed all the activities or clicked on all the links within your course, then that completion bar will show 100%. But it's not considered for grading. It's just for your reference only.
Great, thanks so much. Also, in terms of your customization, once the students customize their Moodle, how do they go about saving it?
The customization is with their personal account. So once they have done that, it will stay with their login. So you don't need to save it. It will stay as long as you're logged into Moodle, and as long as you're accessing Moodle. Whatever you set up will be available every time you log into Moodle.
Perfect. So once it's set up, it's ready to go for each time.
That is correct.
Excellent. So in terms of like changing your blocks on the dashboard, how do you go about removing and adding blocks?
Yes. So let's see. So to customize your blocks as well, you need to click on Customize Page section. And this is where you can add or remove your blocks. And you have the add a block option and the list of blocks that's available for you to add. And it's once you've added it, it's pretty easy to just drag and move it wherever you would like and place it according to your requirement. So moving it is very basically simple. You can just drag it and just move it to the bottom. So yes.
I don't know, do you want to add one of the recently accessed courses blocks? That's
Yeah.
one of the quite useful blocks you can have.
Perfect. That's good. Thank you. So within the add a block section, I will just go ahead and add recently accessed courses. And in here, let's scroll down so that's where the recently accessed courses are available. And I can easily just move it below the private files option and place it there as well. once you're done placing or adding all the blocks, you just need to stop customization. Or if you need to go back to the default settings, you can just reset to default.
I'll quickly jump in there as well. And just a reminder, you can also drag blocks to the center portion of your screen if that's also your preference. If you.
In this instance, I'll just drag this and place it on or below the. Just 1 second. We'll place it just below our start courses, and just like that, you can have your blocks available in here as well. And also, you can move these blocks back into the block navigation on the left-hand side. So, for example, the start courses can be moved back in here as well. Thanks, Adrian.
And yeah, no worries. And we also have another question. Can we customize the course page also? So if you were to click on that one of those courses, as a student, when you access your course, you don't have edit capabilities to edit or rearrange content to your liking. That is up to your instructor. So the way that you see your course is the way that your instructor has set up that particular course. So no, students won't be able to rearrange or edit content in their course page. They can only do so in their own personal dashboard, if that makes sense.
Thanks, Adrian. So just to add on, including your blocks within your course page are set up by your instructors, so you cannot vary them based on your needs. Only your dashboard blocks can be varied or customized according to your requirements.
That's great. One other question is, once you get a bit lost and you want to go back to the main dashboard, how do you get back there?
Awesome. There are a couple of ways to do that. So say I'm in one of these courses, or for example, Introduction to Renewable. I've gone into one of my forums. So there, it's either on your course page or anywhere within your course. You can either go to the dashboard by clicking on the dashboard link on the top left-hand side, or you can just click on your name or your profile details, and the first link on top is dashboard. So if you click on that, it'll again take you back to the dashboard for you to start over again.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Just wondering if any of the attendees have any more questions for Anoop and his team. Okay, I'd really like to thank Anoop and his team, Jackie and Adrian, that did a great job today presenting Moodle 101. That concludes the session today. I know that the attendees, probably a bit like myself, don't like filling in evaluation forms. However, I will be sending some evaluation forms out, and if you could take the time to fill them in for us, that would be fantastic. It just helps us to tweak the model for next time round to make sure that the content is relevant for the students, and that it's giving you everything that you need in terms of your development and understanding as a new university student. So on that note, I will close for today. Thanks everybody for attending. There are some other Prepping for Success workshops that are going on both in O Week and weeks 1 to 5. So feel free to pop over to the UNSW website, and if you just type in Prepping for Success or O Week, you'll be able to see the range and selection of the Prepping for Success workshop series. Otherwise, have a wonderful O Week, and no doubt we'll see you again soon.
Sorry,
Thanks,
Paul. Paul, there's a question in the chat. If you
Sure.
don't mind, can I respond to it? Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So there's a question: can you link Moodle calendars with Google Calendar? So unfortunately, no, they're not. It's not linkable. Moodle Calendar only links to your course and activity timelines. You cannot link it to your Google Calendar itself. But Moodle Calendar itself has some highlighting options where you can just quickly see what's due. But again, that doesn't give you any notification. It just shows you that there is some deadline or something important scheduled for that day. That's great. One last question that came in the nick of the time there, just before I close down.
Just invite the audience one last opportunity for any last second questions. Otherwise, we'll head to close for today. And I can see nothing has come in last second this time round. So thanks once again, and have a great O week.
Thanks, everyone, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Now.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Bye.